does make the heart grow fonder. I have not seen you all in months. My relationship with Lake Harriet has changed a little bit as a result of my life making changes, and I am no longer the spiritual director, but I'm a resident speaker here, and I love this place. And I love you all, and I thank you for braving this cold, cold morning. So we are going to be talking about transformation this morning, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready. So here's our group altar. I brought my sacred object. There's a couple of new people, right? Just raise a finger if you're new. Okay, there you go. What I do in my particular service is I really believe strongly in the power of prayer, power of intention, and experiencing spirit beyond Sunday morning. So what I do is I offer up a collective altar when I'm up here, and it really is intended to kind of soak up the energy of what we're doing here today and allow your intentions, your work, your healing that you'll experience to really go with you when you walk out the door. So now is the time. I'm going to call in the 7 directions, kind of move this place into a sacred space. And all of you who would like to participate, please feel free to put your sacred object on the altar. Okay, here we go. How's everybody doing? Like this? This is what my daughter does when she means this. She just does this. She thinks it's more creative, which it is. I described to someone the other day, I hadn't seen them in a long time, they said, "How are you?" And of course, they think I'm fabulous because all they see is Facebook. And so Facebook makes it look like I'm wonderful. But life is a roller coaster. Is anybody on the same roller coaster I'm on? Yeah, right. Well, yeah, hey, I got it. You know, that's kind of where we're at. The energy that's going on is crazy town. It just is. Don't expect on Golden Pond. It's not going to happen. So today, I want to share with you a message about transformation. The theme here this month at Lake Harriet is the fire of transformation. And I've learned a lot from fire in my spiritual practice. Does anybody work with fire in their spiritual practice on a regular basis? It's really a potent teacher and spirit. And I was doing a lot of thought about transformation and learned some things along the way as I was in meditation about it. Transformation, changing form, going from one place to another. Now, I've experienced a fair amount of transformation lately, especially over the last 5 years since I've moved to Minneapolis from Florida. That's a transformation in and of itself. That in August always seems like a great idea to move from Florida to Minnesota. February, not so much. But what I have just personally experienced as a transformation was as a result of my relationship with the hula hoop. I'm a hoop dancer. Newbies, I'm a hoop dancer. And that tool helped me to do more than just lose 50 pounds and, more importantly, not have them find me again. But it transformed this part, but it also transformed what's inside. And I learned so much from her all the time, and it transformed me from afraid to courageous. First of all, because in one short month, God, I will be hooping on the shores of Lake Harriet. Right, God? I hope. But I went from fearful of, oh my gosh, I couldn't possibly have anybody watch me do this thing because it's so crazy, to woohoo! You know, fearless, completely fearless. it had me go from, self-conscious to owning my badassery, owning my beauty, owning my joy, owning my sexiness, owning my power, and lots of other things. And here's the funny thing, I do it for a living, okay? I do it as part of my speaking that I do. And, I'll typically start it out and I'll do all these kind of amazing things. I've done them here before. And invariably, someone will come up to me and talk about, how did you do that? And how did you learn how to do these things? And I realized that it was a transformation. So here's the steps that I took that I think will apply to you too. So that was that transformation that I wanted to make. I wanted to make a transformation from sedentary, overweight, unhappy, totally self-conscious, afraid head with nothing paying attention to what's going on down here. I wanted to transform into a beautiful, powerful, courageous, sexy, badass hoop dancer. That's the transformation. What's the transformation you want to take? Now, there may be some of you that don't want to transform. You are living la vida loca. Everything's so good, we should write a song about you. But I bet there's a few of you that might want to have a little bit of nip and tuck and change along the way. And even those of you that everything is perfect, I bet you know a person or two who's looking to make some changes, or who needs to make some changes. Is that fair? You either want to make some transformation or someone else really needs to. So just because my vehicle or my example is a hoop, it's a lot different. Every person can use these same principles. And what I realized is transformation is really about 3 steps. It's really about wanting it. It's about working for it. And here's the hardest one, waiting for it. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about wanting it. You all get in your mind where you want to go, what you want to be. Maybe that transformation for you is from unhappy to happy, from afraid to courageous, from impoverished to abundant, from alone to in relationship. You're making a journey. You want to make a transformation of who you are. So have that in your mind, and the first step is wanting it. Because here's what I believe. I believe that transformation doesn't accidentally happen. You think about somebody that you respect and you admire and they've transformed. Did they just kind of go like, whoa? I don't know. They usually don't do that. They have had an idea in their head. This building is going to be transformed because we've declared it. Some beautiful service community members got together in a room and said, we really need to pull together our funds to take care of our home. And they wrote it down. That's how you created your Kickstarter campaign, is some people got together and you wrote stuff down. Writing it down makes it real. First step, makes it real. So anything you want to do to transform, I want you to be able to think, can I write it down? Because then if you can write it down, then you can say it. And if you can say it, you can share it. Because transformation doesn't happen in a vacuum. We are so interconnected. We are so interconnected. The journey that I took in this piece of plastic, I didn't take by myself. I took it with teachers. I took it with teachers like Amy, Fire Mama. Okay, people that have helped me along the way, supported me, hoop makers, lots of people. So we need to be able to share what our transformation is with other people. So can we be specific, and do we really want it? Because we can't expect to make that shift if we don't really want it, because we can't BS the Creator. The Creator sniffs it, knows it, feels it, knows the difference between a yeah, I'd really want to have that. And one that's, yes! Here's a story for you about that. 3 years ago, I can't believe it's been 3 years ago already, I was in training in speaking in a National Speakers Association meeting. And the woman in the front was teaching all of us speakers on how to grow more business. And at the end of her presentation, she said, I'd like you to take out a piece of paper and I'd like you to write down what your big dream is. What do you really want for your career? Big, huge, 3 to 5 years. And I wrote down, okay, let's see. I'd like to do X amount of gigs. I'd like to do for Y amount of money. And I'd like to get Z certification. Wrote it down on my little mini pad at the Hilton. And okay, yeah, that's great. And then she said, anybody want to share their big dream? There was a guy in the back. He raised his hand. And she even said, there's more power to being able to share it. Okay, it gives it air. That's what I think is what's missing in a lot of what we want to create in our lives. We keep it in here. We keep it inside to just all inside, and it never gets any oxygen, it never gets any freedom to move or to transition or to grow. It stays within us. It's okay to just say it out loud to a trusted person. Here's what I want. And in the back of the room, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my 3 very, very smart dreams. And he said, it would be the dream of my life to do a TED Talk. Has anybody ever heard of a TED Talk? It's like a movement, a global movement where people get a chance to talk for 8 to 12 minutes to 18 minutes about one idea that they think will change the world. And they're wonderful, very inspiring. And I've seen these TED Talks for years. And when that guy said, it's the dream of my life to do a TED Talk, I got my piece of paper out and I scratched all 3 of them out. I went, I want to do a TED Talk too. Do a TED Talk. And I circled it. Because I had always wanted to, it's like going to the World Series, okay? For speakers, kind of. Oh man, did I want that puppy when he said that. That was me saying, I want it. You could feel it. And then I completely forgot about it. Like I do most of my big dreams. Do all you guys do that? You have something, it hits you. You're so full of inspiration. You've gotten guidance down from Creator. You know without a shadow of a doubt you're going to go after this thing immediately. And then about 2 hours later, you go, what was that thing that I was going to do? It was life-changing. I remember that. Well, right? We do that sometimes. We have these great ideas, and then we forget. Creator doesn't forget it. Takes notes. It takes notes on energy. That's why when you see people that write a bunch of affirmations, by the way, I'm just a chick with an opinion, okay? So if you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's okay. My feelings will not get hurt. I'm not a big fan of writing down in rote affirmation because I think it's empty. If I can write, I am so happy and grateful now that I am a hardcore badass hoop dancer 27 times or 28 times over 28 days, but I never go to the gym, I won't be that. Okay? So wanting it starts with energy, starts with power, starts with fuel. Where is this transformation that you want? You gotta want it so bad. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it. Italy. You gotta taste the risotto. You gotta see the cypress trees. You just, because that's the straight shoot express elevator up. You've placed your order. You want it. That's number 1. So what is it that you want? Try to get as clear as you possibly can, because remember, it's like a divine cafe. You don't want to just go, I want to have dinner. Because it could be liver and onions that the universe provides you. right? You want to get specific. You want to get specific. The more specific you get, the more our cosmic chef can deliver it. So what do you want? The second step, transformation, is, are you going to work for it? I know. Boo! Don't we all? It's like work is the 4-letter word. We hate it because we're all so tired. We're tired. Anybody else tired? I'm tired. Oh my God, am I tired? And there's the thing. There's just a little jump we got to make. We don't have to make the huge jump. We just got to make a little jump to get off the couch. Just a teeny little jump to close down the iPad. Just a teeny little jump to pick up the phone and make one phone call. Not 25, just one. Because what will happen is, one will get you to the second one, which will get you to the third one, which will get you to the fourth one. But it's that first one. So when you want to transform from wherever you are to wherever you want to be, and you're clear about wanting it, oh, I want it, but you're not willing to work for it, it's DOA. I'm just saying. It's what I believe. I don't think you can own your way to transformation. You gotta do something. And here's the thing. You might say, well, what do I do? The good news is, you don't need to know. You don't need to know. But you gotta be paying attention. So you get the guidance. And you all know what I'm talking about when you get that guidance. I call it like a cosmic noogie. It's when spirit will go. For me, when I first started doing my hoop practice, I wanted it, oh boy, as soon as I saw that woman dance, when I saw that hooper, she was my age, woman of a certain age, and she was gorgeous, and she was doing this amazingly graceful dance, and I'm in my husband's sweatshirt and sweatpants, because they're the only thing that fit me at the time. Never moved, never wanted anybody to look at me move. And I saw this dancer, and I thought, oh, that's what I want. I wouldn't get any better if I let that hoop just sit against the wall or under the bed. And what will happen a lot of times is I see it in front of my audiences. And so you get to choose, are you going to be the 10% or 5% of the people that are actually going to do anything or not? Because, and I'm not trying to be like a snoot about it, but the truth of the matter is we are in a culture that is so anesthetized, so numb, so externalizing of their joy and their power that they are completely out of the equation. That's what I see. I see people doing that. Where they may say, oh yeah, I want this, but then they just turn over everything to somebody else and go, oh well, fiddly-dee, I'll think about it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm too tired today, I'll do it tomorrow. Is this familiar? I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is a joy robber. Tomorrow is a dream killer. Because you'll never get there. Ever. I promise you. You will never be in tomorrow. Never. Because you don't exist in tomorrow. Ever. You're only here. So you got to work it. And what does that mean by working it? What that means is you start to tune in. Do you remember CB players? Are they players? CB radios? That's right, CB radios. Your handle, you got a handle. Breaker 19, breaker 19. This is Ladybug, where's Big Steel? Whatever, I don't know. Big Steel, what's on my mind? Sometimes you had to kind of switch with the channels to get the right thing, because you'd drive through, you'd be in Mitchell, and suddenly you couldn't hear anything, you'd switch the CB radio. You got to kind of mess with the frequency a little bit to get that super clear. And so when you decide, this is what I want to transform into a happy person. I want to transform into a powerful person. I want to transform into a fearless person. I want to transform into an abundant person. I want to transform into a beautiful person. I want to transform into a person that's in love. Whatever it is. When you're having that want and you're ready to enter the work it phase of transformation, you pay attention. Because you've placed your order strong enough. Now the universe is going to start to go, okay, here. Now usually it doesn't happen where it just goes like, ah. If you're wanting to have, a new best friend, suddenly today, I'm not going to just pop down from the universe. Although it would be nice if that would happen. But it doesn't happen that way. It's not quite as clear. So it's like a game of clues. And you start to kind of, it doesn't go, Theresa, make sure you get up this morning and go to Lifetime and hoop 2 hours in the dance studio and make sure you dance to Sexual Healing by Marvin Gaye. It doesn't quite do that, but it'll just an image will pop. For a quarter, not even a quarter of a second, just a boop. That's a sign. That's a sign. And some of us wait for the signs 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Right? Bless you. And you go, well, yeah, I've been meaning to do that because somebody's been mentioning it to me for the last 7 months. Duh! Okay? So when you're getting the signs, and if you're not quite getting the signs, make sure your want is clear. Make sure your want is clear and change that channel a little bit. Here's what makes the frequency clearer, by the way. Taking care of your body. This is like a receptivity channel. And when we're not taking care of our bodies, meaning what we're taking in is good frequency, high frequency energy, meaning the breath we're taking in. Some of us, you know what I noticed this morning? I wasn't breathing. I'm driving and all of a sudden I was like, I can't remember the last time I took a breath. It was just this shallow little breath. Oh yeah, I remember, I have lungs. Yeah. Hello. Breath. What are you taking in that's higher frequency? What are you taking in? What are you taking in? What are you taking in? I promise you, Kim Kardashian doesn't care if you are going to reach your goal. She doesn't. That energy, all those things that we give, that is the thing, that's the fuel that we need to work through the work through it phase. Gotta take care of the body. The more you do, just even with me, what I'm noticing is I'm really trying to get, as a lifetime dieter, it's hard for me to move into I don't want to say that, cancel. Up until now, it had been hard for me to have a relationship with food in a healthy way because all it did was break it down into numbers, calorie counts, exchanges, point values, cups, measurements, crap like that, numbers on a food chart. And what I'm really trying to get to now is a more healthy relationship with what I take in. Because I know the difference it makes. It really does get me staticky if I eat a DiGiorno pizza and 4 glasses of boxed wine. When I have a DiGiorno pepperoni pizza and 4 glasses of boxed wine the next morning, I am not as sharp as I possibly could be. And those are the choices that you make. And here's the thing, what I'm noticing is, this is a tough time, you guys. This is so rough. And we are called here. Each and every one of you are called here. And you have something you really want to do in your life. If you really want to do this, you're going to have to make some choices. It can't all feel good. I'm starting to learn. My friend Linda Austin is here, and she's like my sister of joy, my joy tribe. And I notice there's varying degrees of joy. I'm learning this. Do you know, you used to kind of like, go after joy. Joy! Joy! Yeah, that's great. And we all know joy, right? Whoa, it's so fantastic. And then there's everything else. But what I'm really trying to integrate in my personal practice is there's varying degrees of joy. For me, when I'm hoop dancing, earbuds in, feeling good, not too fluffy, the right song is playing, joy, up here. Then I'm at the gym because I have to make sure that I take care of my knees and my hips and my arms because I'm old and I'm doing this kid thing. So instead of doing all that fabulous stuff that I'd really like to do, I'm doing this. Over and over and over again to strengthen these teeny tiny little muscles around this kneecap so I can do that better. And for so long, I've been fighting against this form of joy because it's not as fun. And we want to skip to the good part, don't we? We don't want to do the other forms of joy. But these other forms of joy make that possible. So I invite you to start to shift your mindset around that, because we tend to compartmentalize. I want to do this, I don't want to do this. I want to do this, I don't want to do this. I want fun, I don't want pain. I want to express myself, I don't want to be a robot. We do that, and then what we do when we compartmentalize ourselves and we start saying we only want this but we don't want this, you can't make lasagna without noodles. You need lasagna, and you need sauce, and you need cheese to make it lasagna. You know? You can't just skip that part, because that's the part that you need to get there. So when you're in the place where you're starting to get the spirit noogie, work on this, create this website, go to this networking group, start taking this class, whatever it is that's that you know you need to do that's going to take extra time away from the Kardashians or extra time away from your family. You got to look at that and realize that's another form of fun. It's delayed joy. Right? Because when I'm doing this thing, or when I'm stretching, or when I'm doing the weightlifting thing, and I'm like, I keep telling myself I'm paying for my joy. I can feel the joy. But see, this is where I want you to start thinking of it, because we're now in this culture of instant gratification. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. That we've been conditioned by the media to not go after the stuff that doesn't feel good. And the fire taught me that, because one of the things that I really got into right relation with fire when I started doing sweat lodges. And just to give you kind of a sense of what that was like for me is the fire, lighting a fire for a sweat, for at least the sweats that I've been a part of, are as profound, if sometimes more profound, than the actual lodge itself, getting the fire lit. It's a teacher. And so when we're getting together, and what happens is, just in case you don't don't have any familiarization with it, you're creating this fire, grandpa fire. You're creating this fire that has a foundation, and it's got all the wood, and it's got stones. You bring in stones into the fire, and you let the fire cook those stones, get them nice and hot. And there's a pathway that's created, and then you've got the structure that is the lodge. And it's about that tall, and there's blankets over it, and you sit in a circle, and there's a pit that's cut out in the center of the lodge that the stones that have been cooking for hours then get brought into the middle of the pit. And the blankets close, and you're in darkness, and you sweat your prayer. You sweat lots of prayers. I mean, in the middle of my sweat lodges, I am like the FedEx guy. I want to pray for my brother and my sister. I'm praying about everything. I'm praying for you guys. I'm praying for, because the sweat gets you goofy. But it's good because it gets you out of your head. Your head is the one that makes all the excuses, and your head is the one that makes rationalizations. But your body and your spirit and your soul, that doesn't lie. And the sweat kind of gets you into that moment. But those rocks and how hot they are an important part of the prayer. So there we are making the fire. And again, we want it. We want to create a raging fire that these rocks are going to be integrated with. And there's work involved. And sometimes we're doing sweat lodges when it's like muddy and cold and snowy and rainy and gross, and it's the last place I want to be. I'm a little fancy pants. I don't like outdoor, generally. I'm kind of like I like a little bit of outdoor when it's perfect, but when it's not, I don't like it. Like -6, not a big fan. So there I am, I'm bundled up with everything. Got all my gloves, got my hat, got my scarf, got my gross boots, got my, everything's gross. Okay, we need to build the fire. Got it, okay. And here we go, we get bringing logs, and the logs have got bugs on them. And I'm bringing the wood, and I notice a snake. Oh, God! Last thing I want to do is be there, but I'm doing it because you got to do it. It's the work involved. And you put it all in, and you make it all happen, and you got to give it air. That's the thing. Sometimes the hardest part about the fire, it's this whole Jenga, okay? You got, like, the wood, and you got the wood going up this way, and you got the little pieces of wood, and you got some paper and kindling and stuff like that, and you get it on, you got the rocks, and it's divine Jenga. You got it. Don't anybody move. We light it up. And nothing. So then we're doing this. It needs air. Fire needs air. Fire needs energy, right? Your dream needs it too. Needs your energy. You may have all the pieces in place. You may have the wood. You may have the kindling. You may have the fire or the rocks. But if you don't have you going, it's not going to happen. The fire will not light. The fire will not light. So think about, when you're thinking about this, what's the work you're being called to do? Do you know? Do you feel it? Do you know what Spirit is telling you to do? Even if it's super quiet? And it might just be one simple thing. Sometimes the universe, even if your goal is this huge transformation, you want to make $1 million next year doing this world famous whatever. That's not how it comes to you. It comes to you in a tiny little beep. One step. And then it opens up and you go beep, and you do the next one. Boop, 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 boop. And then it gets created. It's the one step that you need. And then the final and most difficult step. Wait for it. You've done everything. You want it. You're clean vehicle. You're living the clean, good life. You're being a good person. You're being compassionate. You're being open. You're not being, an anger ball. It's all good. You're working hard. You're getting up. You're fixing everything. You're going after every single thing that Spirit tells you to do. And you go, why is this not happening? How many times I've told myself, why is this not happening? Makes me tired just thinking about it. How many times I've said, why? What have I... The truth is, the third and final step to transformation is waiting for it. You wait. When we get the fire going for the sweat lodge, air, everybody's got it going. It takes a while to cook the rocks, and we have no control over that. So you got 25 people that are waiting in various situations, and nope, rocks aren't done yet. They're not done yet. Really? You mean we can't kind of scooch him along a little? Nope. It'll happen when it happens. That's the hardest part. When you've done all of it, you gotta wait. When you're making s'mores, you want to make s'mores. You get all your ingredients. You put it on a stick, and you wait. Have you ever taken off a s'more before it's a marshmallow before it's ready? And you go, oh, I should have waited just a little bit longer. It's all sticky, it's not right. And it's never right then, it's all messed up. But have you ever done it when it's the perfect time? Perfection? You've waited for divine timing that had nothing to do with you. You might think it had something to do with you and your incredible turning prowess, but it really wasn't about you. That's the same thing with our lives. We need to just trust. Trust the process. Trust Creator. Trust that everything is happening exactly as it should in the back, in the kitchen. Have you ever waited a long time for a meal, and then it's perfect when you finally get it? You're like, oh my God, I'm so glad. Oh, so good. It was worth the wait. Your life is the same way. It's worth the wait. So I want to just invite anybody who wants to share their dream of transformation to put it out there right now, today. And it might just be just one little thing. Anybody? What? It's scary. Why is it scary? Why? Why do you have to do something about it if you put it out there? Good point. So let me just recap what she said. She said, I'm scared. It's scary. It's scary because if I say it, then I have to do it. Oh, well, first of all, you should kind of want to do it, right? Ultimately, because if you think you have to do it, surrender, Dorothy. It won't happen. We don't do anything that we have to do. That's a lie that we tell ourselves. But the more important issue is everybody will be watching to see if I do it or not. Therein lies some of our challenges that we go through, is we care what other people think. Two things about that. Number one, they're so self-absorbed, they're only thinking of themselves anyway. They're not really watching you, most people. And two, that's exactly the transformation we need to make, is to stop caring. Who gives a crap if they don't like it? Like, I just applied for this television show. Big deal for me. I may not get it. And I've told thousands of people. And there will be a couple of snoots that go, I knew she wouldn't get it. They don't matter to me. And the part that does feel like it matters, the insecure 5th grade girl inside who hated being bullied, that's the part I chase after inside then. Then I chase after that hurt. I chase after that wound and go, let's fix that. Let's not stop growing. Let's not stop being amazing. Let's not stop transforming. Let's not stop serving. Let's not stop being the person that we're designed to be, that we're supposed to be, why we're here, because of that nitwit. And people that judge like that, they got a whole world of weird going on in their worlds that they're spending so much time worrying about other people. And I see it every day when I hoop, because I hoop at Lifetime Fitness, land of the beautiful people. Some of these women are aerodynamically freaks. Everything is about 7 inches higher on them than they are on me. And I can tell there's always a landscape, and this landscape is going to be for you too. They just won't be as obvious as they are with me. Here's, I bet, who you run into in your life. When you step out and you start to be a little bit different, a little bit bolder, a little bit bigger, a little braver, you are going to have the gawkers who go, I can't believe she's doing that. Oh my God. They're shocked that anybody would get out of their stupor to do something different. In your careers, you see that happen where people are like, oh, did you really do that? Yeah. You got the gawkers, and then you got the appreciators that are big enough to go, yeah, nice. And those are usually the ones that have done it too, right? They've already done some form of it, so they appreciate. You're a member of the tribe. Come on in. And then you got the small people. Oh my God, do you see her? Look at her butt. Cannot even believe that. And they get louder as I get bigger. The small people get louder. In fact, I just saw some walked right in front of me, right before the daughter's like, did you see that lady hooping? And the mother's like, oh my God, I see her all the time here. She just thinks she's just so fabulous. I'm right behind them. And the daughter was actually kind of like, hey, did you see that lady hooping? Like how cool it is? And the mom was the snoot. You're going to have it. Don't stop saying what you want because you're afraid of what other people think. And you're going to have things that don't work. How many of you made pancakes and one of the first round suck? It's the test pancake theory. They aren't that good, are they? That's okay. You can say what you're going to do, and if you don't do it, that's fine. I applied for Oprah Winfrey Network TV show. Get your own TV show. I applied and failed. I've applied for a lot of stuff and failed publicly. It's okay. Because someday I'm going to apply and I won't fail. So, what is it that you have your dream to be or do or have?
Well, to get more involved in my healing practice, I've been studying all modalities of healing for 25 plus years. I bought a massage table in 2009. I've used it all of 3 times. So there's something that's holding me back, and I think it might be the fear.
So if you weren't fearful, what would you do?
If I weren't fearful, I would start inviting clients over.
For a treatment?
For treatment.
You got time later on today? I bet there's a person or two that wouldn't mind getting a healing treatment from one of the most beautiful women I know. It just takes one, Ella. It just takes one. And please, do not think about, I've had it for 7 years and I've never done anything with it. That's bull crap. That's just, you guys, stop it. Just stop. Everybody does that. Einstein, 1,000 times failed. 1,000 times failed. And then went, oh, hey, let's just keep going. Who cares that you've had it for 17 years? It doesn't matter. Up until now, you have not used that massage table more than 3 times. That's the fact, Jack. There's no judgment and no shame. Up until now, you've only used it 3 times. It doesn't mean Ella's a bad person. Ella didn't go after what she wanted. Ella did blah, 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 blah. That's all crazy drama, okay? The fact is you didn't use it up until now. But you had the courage today to say what you want, that you want to have clients. You know what I'd like you to do is consider client. Make a commitment. Here's the work part. Make a commitment. This is February. Am I in February? Unfortunately. How about by the end of March, Ella, you will have had someone on your table to receive a healing. I didn't say for money. You will have had someone on your table to receive a healing by the end of March. Is that something that you think you could do to make happen? Good. Thank you. Yes?
I just want to share one thing about your dream, since you mentioned Italy. When I first had the Italy dream, it was about going to Italy someday. And then this thing happened in my life, and my sister said, "You always talk about going to Italy to die. Why don't you go to Italy to live?" Yeah. And that just shifted everything. Yeah. But what has made it such a fabulous journey, even though it's extended and we're waiting and it's going to take time, is I did share it with people. I started telling people right away. And what I found out was that I was really enrolling my allies. Absolutely. There are so many people who are supporting that and asking me, how is it going, how is it going? And they're all enthusiastic because I'm joyful about it and they support that.
Exactly. It's a network. It's a network. So thank you for that. That's absolutely true. And people sometimes have said, I'll start hooping when I lose weight. It actually is the other way around. You'll start getting better. One quick thing.
I was just going to say that to be aware that your intention could be okay with it changing. Like you were saying before, how we can't live by tomorrow, we have to live presently. So since you are living at every present moment, just know that maybe something that you wanted this day, it may change because you are always transforming, you're always changing. So like when I think with my business, it's been shaping more and more because of the fact that I'm trying to reflect it to be about me. For a very long time, I had it be so focused around everybody else that I literally hid behind my own business. And I don't know how you can do that, but I was doing it. So now I am shifting it really to be about what gift can I give to fulfill something that I want, and also to start doing more things in the community that resemble more things about me. So like, for example, on this Wednesday, I'm going to be auditioning for the Twin Cities Women's Community Choir. And I don't know what that has to do with my business, but it's something that I'm being told, you need to go do this. I'm like, and I'm just putting the intention out that in the future that's going to help me with my business somehow.
Thank you, and it always will. Sometimes the craziest things will happen. I'll get nudged to do weird stuff, and then all of a sudden I'll meet somebody amazing there that I never possibly could have done. So it's really, thank you all. And again, remember, you have allies, you have support. When you are in this process of moving and growing, say what you want, do the work, and then trust that Spirit is providing it when it needs to. In all that divine timing. It really is the magic, the alchemy of transformation. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. And now I'm going to invite Tina to come up, and so we can share the offering. All right, and let's just take a quick moment to feel your feet. Feel your energy grounding into the earth, nice and deep and wide. Feel your energy connect to the person to your left, and so on and so on and so on. Send your energy to the right, and so on and so on and so on, until you meet you on the other side. You are so much bigger and more powerful, stronger than you know you to be. You are infinite. Hold this space, knowing that you are co-creating exactly what you need at this time in your life. And if there's anybody who needs any extra prayers, just hold them in your heart right now. Allow your energy to grow nice and big, bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, brighter and brighter, brighter and brighter, until it fills this room, until it fills this city, until it fills this state, until it fills this world. Thank you, Creator, for another day that we have been given. Aho! Let's make it a beautiful day. Thank you.